Okay, Jerry Corley here, standupcomedyclinic.com. I have to talk about this. I saw this video pop up in my Twitter feed, and there's this guy. His name is Nima Yamini, and he basically is accusing Matt Rife of giving sexual favors for success. Take a look at the video, and there's a lot we need to unpack after this.
You know, before I became wealthy in business, I actually had a somewhat successful career in stand-up comedy. I was on the way up. I was invited to a meeting with some Hollywood executives, along with some now famous comedian, and we were offered the chance for a deal at Online Stardom. But the only way to receive the contract was by sucking both of the execs off. I immediately got up and walked to the door. But before I could even exit, the other comedian was sucking both of their simultaneously. That guy's name was Matt Rife. And that's Alpha King rule number 799. Just because someone is more famous than you, it doesn't mean they're better. They might just be gayer.
So let's break this down piece by piece, right? First of all, he said before I became wealthy in business. He says before I became wealthy in business. Like, first of all, if you're wealthy in business, you'd have no reason to talk about this, right? It's like as you're shooting this video from this Airbnb you rented in Fort Lauderdale, right? You're up there, I'm wealthy in business. I actually had somewhat of a successful career in stand-up comedy. There's no record of it online anywhere. I don't see any videos of you performing. And even TMZ says no indication that this guy had any notable career in stand-up comedy. And he said he was on his way up, and he was invited to a meeting of Hollywood execs, along with a now famous comedian, and were offered the chance for a deal at Online Stardom as long as we performed, sexual favors on them right there and then. It's like before we signed the contract. The contract, really? There's going to be a Hollywood executive saying, here's a contract for Online Stardom. Like, wait a second, dick sucking is the answer to the algorithm for Google? It's like, oh, all I have to do is suck a dick and they can figure out how to get me popular online. So that's, first of all, just like his story doesn't make any sense, right? I think it's all BS. I think this guy has got some issues. I think he's definitely a narcissist because you don't get up there and you say, hey, I'm wealthy and successful. Because if you are, there's no reason to talk about it. You're too busy being wealthy and successful than to worry about fucking Matt Rife, right? So, and let me make this straight. I'm not a big fan of Matt Rife. I've seen his stand-up. I don't think he's that funny. I think he lacks real good skill in his craft. However, I'm not going to deny him the fact that he worked his ass off with his crowd work videos on TikTok to develop a huge following. And then he used that following and to springboard it into filling seats at shows and then worked it up to the point where he got a Netflix special. Kudos, right? He did the work necessary to build that opportunity. Kudos to Matt Rife. Still don't think he's great, but he's worked his ass off to get there. Now, you got some issue with him, some jealousy because he became famous and you didn't. You don't to tell this story, which is horseshit, by the way. It's like, listen to what he says. He says, I was invited to a meeting with some Hollywood executives, and we were offered a chance at a deal on Online Stardom. But the only way to receive the contract, hey, sign right here if you suck my dick, that doesn't happen. Right? I've been in rooms with Hollywood executives. I've sold a movie. I made a movie, Stretch, and I didn't have to suck anybody's dick. I took it in the ass a little bit on the deal, but I didn't suck anybody's dick. And secondly, it's like, that's not what's going on. That's not what happens. And do you think, and on top of that, he doesn't name the Hollywood executives. There's no mention of who these Hollywood executives were. Right, that have the algorithm to Google all wrapped up in a dick-sucking conspiracy, right? So he says, I immediately got up and walked to the door. But before I could even exit, the other comedian was sucking both their dicks simultaneously. Wow, that is a slow walk, dude. Because first you got to undo the buckle, unzip, pull it out, get it hard, put it in a mouth, and then that's when the dick sucking starts. That to me, immediately in a quick walk to the door, that doesn't happen in that time period. Was there a fluffer in the room keeping those guys hard the whole time? So it's like his story doesn't make any sense, and it sounds to me like you stuck around to watch some of the action. So it's and then he ends it by saying, and that's Alpha King rule number 799. Just because someone's more famous than you, it doesn't mean they're better. They just might be gayer. Gayer. I think we had a reveal. Did you say the quiet part out loud? Because that's I think you revealed something more about yourself than you intended to reveal in this video. Here's the deal. There's no reason to do this. There's no reason to disparage another comedian. And this, it drives me nuts. When you're doing that, it says more about you than it does about them. And this guy is no different, who comes in there and just starts to sort of like bash Matt Rife. Now, and I think Matt Rife is doing himself no favors by posting some of his images, his promo images with his shirt off. Like these images look like they would be more appropriately placed as cover pics for Play Guy magazine or Blue Boy. So maybe that's the angle you're going for, but that's not really comedy friendly. Comedy is about somebody trying to get from point A to point B and encountering obstacles, not about, hey, look at this, I'm hot, or I keep myself in great shape. So that, I think, is going to come back to bite him in the end as far as comedy is concerned. The same thing happened to Joe Piscopo. Look him up. Used to be on Star on Saturday Night Live, got into his bodybuilding phase, his career tanked. So same thing's going to happen to Matt Rife. But to sit there and make these fake allegations is not good, right? It's like, and if I was Matt Rife, I would sue you for defamation. See, and that's one thing some of these dumb comedians don't get. It's like, you can say negative stuff about somebody, but once you make an accusation that hurts their reputation or defames their character, guess what? You crossed a line. Free speech is fine. Nobody said there's free speech without consequences. Once you cross that line and you defame somebody's character and hurt them potentially financially or hurt them personally, give them emotional pain, they can sue you. And this wealth that you've accumulated will go right into Matt Rife's wallet because you weren't smart enough to just leave it be and let this guy be who he is and let his own career take him where it's going to take him. So that being said, Alpha King rule number 1 is be nice to everybody on the way up because you meet those same people on the way down.